I'm in Shenandoah National Park in the Southern District. This is Browns Gap, and this is mile marker 83. Out there, Skyline Drive. It's a real nice parking area here at Browns Gap. This is a real popular spot to start hikes. My little red car is in the shop, so that's a loaner car I got there, that silver thing. And gonna hike a big loop today. Up that way is the Appalachian Trail, so we're gonna start out on the Appalachian Trail, and we're gonna climb the mountain, get up on a ridge line for a while, and then descend down to Big Run and go around a great big loop and come back over from this direction. So I don't know, maybe 7 miles or so. So let me get this little car closed up, and we're going to head right over there where you see the white blazing. That's the Appalachian Trail. Six-tenths of a mile into my hike. I'm up to 2810 elevation, and this is the intersection with the Big Run Loop Trail. Let's see, here's where I came from, up from Browns Gap parking lot up this way. That's the Appalachian Trail, and straight ahead is the Appalachian Trail continued. And when you see this thing, you're going to turn left, and we're going to follow this on up along this ridge line for a ways, and eventually we're going to descend down to a Big Run. .2 miles into my hike. I've been descending some. I'm down to 2650, and I stepped off the trail because I saw this cleared out area here. Look at this potential little camping area. It's kind of close to the trail though. The trail's right over there along the ridge. But hey, if you needed a spot, right there is all cleared out, nice and level. I'm working on the map. .25 miles into my hike. The elevation here is 2650. And this is where Big Run Loop Trail turns off and goes down the side of the mountain to the right. So here's where I came from. Yeah, y'all have a good hike. Some people I found along the trail there. Anyway, when you come down here, you turn to the right and head on down towards Big Run. This is a big descent, so let's get started. 2.3 miles into my hike. I'm down to 1,860 feet elevation, and there's where I came. That's where I came from. This is some pretty steep terrain here, so the trail zigzags back and forth with some switchbacks. And I'm not quite down to Big Run yet, but look at that down there. That's nice and flat and open. I'll make a nice camping area down there somewhere. No fires though, no fires allowed. You can use a camp stove, but no open fires in the park. But look at that, that's nice right there. But for now, I'm going to continue on down here until we get down to Big Run. 2.6 miles into my hike, I'm finally down to the headwaters of Big Run. The elevation here is 1,720 feet. And let's see. So there's where I came from, down the side of the mountain. And when you come down here, if you go past the post and continue on more or less straight ahead to the right there a little ways, that will take you up the other side of the mountain back up to Skyline Drive. That's how I'm going to get back, is by going that way. It's a couple of miles. It's a long climb out of here. It's a couple of miles up to Skyline Drive. But right now I'm going to turn left and go down this way. The trail that goes down this way is called Big Run Portal, and it goes on for miles. And I think you can follow it out of Shenandoah Park if you follow it far enough. I'll show you on the map talk, but this area right in through here is where the old Big Run shelter was. The Big Run shelter was one of the shelters along the Appalachian Trail that was pulled out, I think sometime in the 1960s. And some of the shelters were a little too easy to reach from Skyline Drive, and they turned into party shacks. And I guess the Park Service had a lot of trouble with that, so some of them they just took out, like this one. Anyway, I'm going to go down this way, go downstream along Big Run for a little ways, and maybe I can find a little place to throw up my day hammock and sit there for a few minutes and eat some lunch. Here's the headwaters of Big Run. Three miles into my hike, I'm down to 1,630 feet elevation, and I hiked downstream maybe a tenth of a mile or so. Tenth of a mile, one crossing, but it was real easy. I was able to get across on rocks, and so I decided this is where I'm going to stop. And it's a nice spot here. These are the headwaters of Big Run, and over there, if you cross this part of the run, over there is kind of looks like an island, and that would be a real nice camping spot over there. But for a day hike, I'm perfectly happy to set my hammock up right here. So I'm gonna sit here and have some lunch. The trail is up that way just a little ways. So real nice. This is a real nice area of the park. It's kind of remote. You're This is about 3 miles or so from Skyline Drive, I'd say, but pretty nice down through here. A little cold today. There's a view from the hammock. I'm kind of sitting in it more so than anything right now. I'm too lazy to take my boots off. It's cold down here now. It's about 40 degrees. When I started this morning, it was around 25 degrees. So, now the wind's starting to pick up. It was calm earlier, but now the wind's starting to pick up. If the wind continues, I'm going to have to get out of here. Because the only way to stay warm is to keep moving. Now we'll relax here for a few more minutes, though. Most of the leaves have come off the trees now up here. I'd say 99% off. In the unlikely event of any trouble, I brought my little friend, because 911 doesn't work up here, folks. I'm heading back up towards Skyline Drive. I got to cross over right here and then start climbing the mountain. .9 miles into my hike. I'm up to 2,020 feet. There's the ridgeline right there where the trail is. And I just stepped off here a minute to show you these little spots here. There's a spot right there. Kind of cleared out. Little camping area. This whole area in through here is pretty cleared out. Kind of close to the trail though. But if you went back in narrow ways or over the side of the hill here just a little ways with a hammock or something, nobody'd even know you were back there. So anyway, I'm heading back up here to this ridge line and continuing on this way. 5.6 miles into my hike. I'm up to 2870, and I'm up to Skyline Drive. This is the trailhead for Big Run Loop, and over there on that ridge line, that's where I came in on. Down the valley, down there to Big Run, and then back up this way. Down there is where Big Run empties out into the Shenandoah Valley, and eventually it empties into the Shenandoah River. And the mountain range on the other side of the valley is the Massanutten mountain range. I've got to go up here. There's a parking lot right up here on the right. I got to go up here and pick up the Appalachian Trail, and then I'm gonna head south back down towards my car, back down this way. So up there is Doyles River parking lot. You walk through the parking lot and down this trail 100 feet and look on the left, and you'll see this AT signpost right there. So when you come down, you'll see that on the left, and you turn right. Here's the Appalachian Trail right here. I'm going to head this way to the south, back to my car. .6 miles into my hike. I'm at 2870 elevation, and this is looking to the east. This is the Doyles River overlook. I got here over there to the left from the Appalachian Trail, and I'm going to rejoin the Appalachian Trail back over there and continue south back to my car. It's about another mile or so back to my car. .3 miles into my hike. The elevation here is 2820, and I've just completed a big old loop. There's where I came from, the Appalachian Trail coming down this way, and this is where I came up and turned left onto the Big Run Loop trail originally. So I'm going to backtrack. This is the Appalachian Trail southbound. I'm about 0.6 of a mile from my car, so back to my car. This is a map of today's hike. It's two quadrangle maps pasted together. The upper part is McGaheysville, 1999. That covers down to this black line I drew, and then below that is Browns Gap, 1997. This red line here is Skyline Drive, running through Shenandoah Park. And I parked right here. This is about mile marker 83, which is Browns Gap. And then from the Appalachian Trail comes through the gap like this. And so when you park your car here, you just get out and you look for the white blaze in the parking lot, and you start heading up the hill. That's the Appalachian Trail, blazed white. Now the Appalachian Trail these days continues up like this, but when you get up to here, you'll be up in a little saddle area, and you'll see a concrete signpost. You turn left, and this is Big Run Loop Trail. This says Rocky Top Trail, but that's not right. That's for further west. Or maybe they've renamed it. But anyway, the signpost here says Big Run Loop Trail. Head left, and you'll be hiking along a ridge line for a while until you get to here. Now, when you get to here, this trail continues on like this. And there's also a trail that comes down this way. Okay, but you turn to the right and you head down the mountain like this. This is Big Run Loop Trail, and you follow this on down all the way down to this intersection right here. Now, this intersection is where the Big Run shelter used to be. I don't know exactly when they pulled it out, but maybe in the mid-1960s they pulled it out. They pulled out 6 or 7 shelters and got rid of them. Ones that were deemed to be too close to Skyline Drive, for example. So anyway, I show you the general area where the shelter was, and then I started hiking on down this this old fire road here. This is called Big Run Portal, and I went down here a couple tenths of a mile. I didn't mark it on here, but right in here somewhere I set up for lunch, and then came on back this way, and then I continued on the Big Run Loop Trail, climbing up the mountain. And this is a long climb, by the way, up this way, climbing, until finally when you get up to here, you'll be at the Big Run Overlook, and you'll be back up on Skyline Drive. Okay, and then what you have to do is you have to head north for maybe 100 yards or so until you get up here. There's a parking lot, Doyles River parking lot, which is parking for one of the cabins that you can rent, which is right here, and also provides access to the Appalachian Trail, which runs through here. So you go up to the Doyles River parking lot, walk through the lot, and start down the side of the hill, and you'll see a signpost there for the Appalachian Trail. Hike south along the Appalachian Trail. Eventually you'll come back up and you'll walk through this overlook here, which is Doyles River Overlook. Now, according to this map, there used to be a Civil War gun emplacement up here that would have protected Brown's Gap down this way. You've got a commanding view of the entire area from up here. And back during Civil War days, the trees would have all been cut down, and some artillery pieces up here would have been a nice thing to have. Anyway, just keep hiking south. You'll cross Skyline Drive, and eventually you'll come back to your original turnoff here, and then you just retrace your path back down to the parking lot. This Big Run area, this is one of the bigger watersheds in the park. It's also designated as a national wilderness area. So it truly is wilderness. When you're in this Big Run watershed, you are definitely in one of the more remote areas of Shenandoah Park. It's a beautiful area, though. Really, really nice hike, and ended up being about 7.9 miles and about 1,846 feet of vertical ascent. And that was the hike for today.